I got my US B1 B2 visa approved in less than 2 minutes. Yes, you heard it right, it was not even 2 minutes, the whole interview process. So in this video I will talk all about the questions I was asked, how was the interview experience, and also I have done a full length experience video where I have mentioned everything that you want to know, like the experience, how to book your visa slot easily, and everything is already there. I will tag it in my I section and it will be in my description box as well. But in this video I will particularly focus on the interview experience and the questions that was asked and which might help you as well. So let's go. So I applied for a US B2 tourist visa and I was granted a B1 B2 visa which is valid for 10 years. And as you know, there are two parts in the interview process. The first one is biometrics and mine was at Hyderabad, and the second one is the consular interview which was at Kolkata for me. So for the biometric, you don't need to worry about anything. It is just like you just have to go there, they will just take your photo and your fingerprints and that's it. But the main thing, like which is like will you get your visa or not, that depends on the interview process itself. So now let me go through with the interview process. So my interview time was at 8 AM, which is the first slot that you get. Like the morning slot for me I think is a really good slot. If you get it, obviously take the morning slot. I reached the location around 7:20 in the morning, and when I went there I saw there is already a queue in place and there is also a security guard, and the queue was at the road itself, like it was a very small lane. As I think you might already know that there is no electronic items allowed, so your phone, any smartwatch, like any laptop or anything, you cannot go take inside. You cannot even take big backpacks as well, so you can only take the small folder where you can have your documents inside, that's it. And anything else, there is already locker box outside of the embassy, so you can just keep it right there. I think in front of me there were around like 8 to 10 people in front of me. So we had to wait a little bit around 7:30 AM, and exact 7:30 we were asked to go inside. So before going inside, they checked our our DS-160 form, and they just confirmed it. They confirmed with our passport as well, and then we were told to go inside. And the first thing is like security check was done, and after that we were told to sit in another room for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then we were called in the main place. So when I went there, I saw again, like in front of me there were almost like 10 people in front of me there, and the counters were actually not opened at that time since it was around 7:45. So they were like preparing to open the counter, and finally at exact 8 AM I saw that two counters were open at the same time, and there were two white male. So one officer was around like 50-55 around of age, and another was again like a white male, but he was a little younger, around like in his 40s. When you stand in the queue, you actually can hear the people in front of you, like they are approved or not, so you can hear them properly. And in front of me, like there were a couple of families. There were also two senior citizens. I think they were going to visit their son. There was a single like a B1 visa applier as well, and I can stand there and I was just listening to what questions were they asking and everything. And finally then came my turn. The counter that I was interviewed in, I think I was the third or fourth person in that counter itself. Now let me go through with the actual questions that were asked to me. So the first question that was asked that, okay ma'am, so why are you traveling to California? So my answer was that I'm traveling for tourism. My husband already has his B1 B2 visa, and we will be traveling together for a vacation. And now he asked particularly California, because when I was filling the DS-160 form, there was a option that you have to enter that where are you planning to stay. So I had mentioned a hotel in California itself. So that is why he directly asked me that why do I want to visit California in particular. Second question he asked is that, okay, your husband already has his visa. I mentioned yes. I also had my husband's visa copy with me, but he did not ask for any documents. The third question that he asked is that, what do you do? So I mentioned that I work as my job title in this company in Hyderabad. So again, like the same thing I have mentioned in my DS-160, I just mentioned the same thing once again. So after that, he actually asked me to repeat my job title once again. So I mentioned the job title once again, and then he was typing something there. The next question he asked me is that, do you have anyone living in the US? So I answered that yes, I do have a cousin who stays in the US, but I don't have any plans on visiting him for this trip. Again, same thing, like in my DS 160, I had already mentioned my point of contact in US as my cousin. So I mentioned the same thing to him directly, and I also made it clear that I don't have any plans on visiting my cousin for this trip. It is particularly, for tourism purpose. Next thing he asked, like, it is not actually a question, it was more of like a statement. So he said directly that, okay, I can see that you have traveled to a number of countries already. So by the time I was applying, I had traveled to 8 countries in the last 5 years, and again in my DS 160 form I have already mentioned all the countries I have visited as well. So he just told me that I can see you have already traveled, and I just smiled and said that yes. And then he asked me that, okay, tell me what is your favorite country you have visited. So I mentioned that I loved like Thailand and Uzbekistan. So he just smiled, and then he's just started typing something on his computer, and this whole process took around like what, 1.5 minutes I think maximum. And then he just typed in his computer for like 20 seconds and so, and I was waiting for him to ask more question, mostly about the funds and like what is my package, like like who's gonna sponsor the trip and everything. But after that he just told me, okay ma'am, your visa is approved, have a nice trip, you will get your visa within 10 working days, and that's it. I actually, was so surprised, because I did not expect the interview to be this easy. Because I also, like, as like you guys, you are watching, I also watched a lot of videos. I like read a lot of blogs, experiences, and I have seen like a lot of people, like a lot of officers grill a lot, like they want to check about your funds and everything. But for me, they did not ask a single thing about my fund, like what is my package, who is gonna fund this whole trip, or like what all. If he did not even ask me that what all places am I trying to visit in USA, nothing. Like again, like I feel like the officer, like both of them actually were in really good mood. Like they actually were really politely asking, like not only me, like at the people in front of as well. They were really polite. They were not at all rude, which again I have heard a lot of experiences. So it again, like it depends on your luck. It depends how you present itself. It depends on your profile, what you mention in your DS 160 form, and again I think it definitely depends on the mood of the officer as well. Is carry your documents properly. Again, maybe 95% of the time they won't ask you for any documents, but I still feel there are a couple of documents that you should get with you. I will try to make a separate video on this one. Let me know if you're interested to know what all documents you should bring with you. I can definitely do a separate video on that as well. And yes, that was my B1 B2 visa experience. As I mentioned, like it was a very simple one. Your questions might again be a little different than it was asked to me. Everyone's profile is different, but that was my experience. And also I am planning to do a separate video on most commonly asked questions for this B1 B2 visa process. Like I think that is something that might help you. Let me know in the comments if this is a topic which you want to see. I can do that as well. But that's it for this video. If you have any other question, definitely leave it in my comment section below. You can DM me on my Instagram if you want to ask something directly. It's with the same name, Wonder with Dia. And that's it. If you want to see the whole video of my experience and everything that you need to know, definitely check out the comment section. There will be a playlist as well, everything related to this visa experience. And that's it. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This is a travel channel. And take care guys. Bye.